This is November 17, Sunday. And November is half over. There's only 1 month, just the half of November. And the Earth will have completed its trip around the sun. Here's the tick-tock. And you know what's fascinating? You put that to your ear. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. And you don't want to put it down. And by the way, the body healed this ear. Did I tell you about that? You know, the body has healed everything. Way back in 2016, we had some kind of a fever and a rash. And the body and lethargy, oh terrible lethargy. And the body healed that. No doctors, no medicine. And this ear, you couldn't hear anything out of this ear. Not a thing. And so by putting hydrogen peroxide in it, and then using a rubber ball syringe, and hot water as hot as you could stand, and then flushing it out, and big pieces came out, big pieces of discharge. And then it kept draining and draining every day, draining and draining, oh, for 2-3 months. And now it's clear and you can hear fine. The body did that. Oh, the body's a wonderful healer. No insurance. Confidence in the body to heal. So what are you doing? Well, I thought that I would do the Bible lesson for you. St. Paul said, I am convinced that neither life nor death, nor angels nor demons, nor cities or principalities, then he listed 5 or 6 more, can separate us from the love of God through Jesus Christ, our Lord. We'll put the Glendora, Chat with Glendora spin on that. Remember that Jesus, God, and the universe we use interchangeably. I see the universe, I see God as Jesus, I see God as helping others. The universe, God, Jesus, helping others, they're all interchangeable. And thank you, Mary and Albert and Leafy Cat, for these lovely gloves that you crocheted, and the other 16 pair that you crocheted to go with the different costumes. And you can't make gloves without a cat, right? You have to have a cat chase the yarn all the time you're making gloves. So that's what Paul said. Nor anything else in creation. Let's add that to it, yeah. Nor anything else in all creation can separate us from the love of God through Jesus Christ, through helping others. That's nice, isn't it? Nothing's going to separate us from helping others, because we know that's the truth. We know that's the way. We know that's the only thing in life. And that's what this cross is here, to remind nothing's going to separate us from helping others. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Blessed be the tie that binds our hearts in Christian love. We will make that in helping others love. Blessed be the tie that binds our hearts in helping others. The fellowship of kindred minds is like to that above. Can you remember that? Let's go over it again. Blessed be the tie that binds our hearts in helping others. The fellowship of kindred minds is like to that above. Above, below, to the left, to the right, all around. That's what it's about. And it's about nothing else. The universe, the allness, the wholeness, the oneness. Don't try to separate yourself from the universe. What does that mean? It means don't go selfish. That's what selfishness is. That's what egotism is. That's what me first is. Don't bother that. That's the wrong path. It will not only not get you nowhere, Glendora, that's 3 negatives. It will get you nowhere. It will use up your life, and it will keep you unhappy and unsatisfied. Don't separate yourself from the universe, from others. You are one. We are all one. Mystic oneness. The allness, the wholeness, the oneness. So when you count your blessings, the first blessings you count are the universe. Its beauty, its harmony, its perpetuity. 14 billion years. 13.7. It's the harmony, the motion, the constant motion, the creativity, the accomplishments, the kaleidoscope. Ah, it's fascinating, fascinating. The astronomical distances of the galaxies, the stars, and yet the tiny, 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 minuscule distances, so far down we can't see them all. I say there's much farther to go, much farther than quarks. The kaleidoscope, again, the variety. It's always fascinating. It's always different, it's always changing, and yet it is a stable basis, a routine, a design. And that's another thing, is the designs, all the shapes that you have. Rectangles, ellipses, circles, spheres. That's how you start counting your blessings. And then you say, for the heartbeat, this heart right here, this got you started. This is going to stop you. Tick tock. Tick tock. Tick tock. Only my heartbeat is a lot faster than that tick tock. And then You count the universe, born, Mom and Dad, thank you, Mom and Dad. Alive, thank you, Mom and Dad, who kept us alive. Healthy, who kept us healthy. The universe, born, alive. Food, thank you, Mom and Dad. Clothing, thank you, Mom and Dad. Shelter, thank you, Dad and Mom. No catastrophes. We're thankful to everybody for that. No weather catastrophes, no house on fire, no assaults. No assaults. 2 peanuts were walking down the street. They called the police because one was assaulted. No assaults. No robberies. No injuries. No accidents. In this case, 91 years old, no doctors, no hospitals. No doctors, no medicine. No doctors, no medicine, no hospitals, no ambulances, no nursing homes, no rehabilitation centers. The heartbeat, the universe. No doctors, no medicine. Was he born alive and healthy, food, clothing, and a home. Freedom and independence. No catastrophes. Your finances, no matter what they are, your finances. Your education. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I grew up in Presque Isle, Maine, 18 miles from the Canadian border. Our community never could afford kindergartens. We never heard of such a thing. You went to first grade. And your teachers were students at the Presque Isle Normal School, now the University of Maine campus at Presque Isle. And then your elementary school, then junior high school, and then high school and college. Thank you, Mom. Education, and then your careers, your jobs. Your hobbies, your works of love, your spouse, and your spouse's job. That's how you count your blessings. I am not in my sanctuary. This is not my sanctuary. This is where I talk to you. But my sanctuary is over there, my bed. Don't say anything bad about my bed, please. How I love that bed. How I enjoy that bed. But please, have a sanctuary. You're not in my sanctuary because I'm not supposed to have anybody in my sanctuary. I'm supposed to be all alone, and I'm supposed to listen to the heart, the thought, the mind. Can anybody tell us what the mind is, what the heart is, what the thought is? No. They got a long way to go on that one. Nobody's been able to tell us what that is. But I feel it. Don't you? We know it, don't we? We know what it is, don't we? The heart is helping others. Only that. Keeping the universe going and growing and glowing. And helping others and being selfless. Right? And the thought, think about that one. Think about thought. What is your thought about thought? The heart, the soul, and the mind. The soul, I think I know what that is. What is the soul? It is the God that is inside of you, and it is the God that is inside of everybody. Amen. That's what it is, and that's what you listen to when you go to your sanctuary. And what is your conscience? Your conscience is the voice of that soul, right? and you do what your conscience tells you to do. Don't fool around with that. If your conscience says do it, you get up and do it. No two ways about that. I'm listening to these college courses. I'm listening to a college course now called Einstein's Relativity and the Quantum Revolution. It is being given by a professor named Wilson, I think. Although he looks very much like a professor named Wilson from Middlebury College 6 or 7 years ago that I listened to the basics of physics, you know, classical physics, motion, and electricity. Please, you know I'm going away. I'm going to leave you. Now, please. Just a minute, folks. It's always a quarter of an inch too short. Always a quarter of an inch too short. Excuse me. H2O. Here is a miraculous creation. Two gases make a liquid. Please drink 5 glasses of water a day until that urine is white. Please. When I go. Now. Start it now. So there you are, H2O. That's the formula for water. What's the formula for an ice cube? H2O squared. Actually, H2O cubed. So we covered it, didn't we? The sanctuary. So we covered the Bible, and we covered the hymn, and now the words. Why are words so important? Why are we? Because they are, first of all, beautiful launch pads for meditation. Let's take the word number 66, accidental. It means casual. Incidental. Happening outside of the design. There's a good meditation. Happening outside of the design. 1. What is the design? 2. What is happening outside of it? You can meditate on that for an hour in your sanctuary. And then the next word is accessory. An assistant in the commission of an offense. Well, you don't want to commit any offenses. What are offenses? Anything you do that is selfish. That will lead you to a pile of offenses. That old selfishness will take you to a pile of offenses. So that's a good one to meditate upon. Happening accessory. There's accessory before the fact, before the offense happens. Accessory after the fact, after the offense happens. It's used in, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to talk about criminal law. If you assist somebody in a crime before it happens, during it happens, or after it happens, for instance, if you shelter a criminal. Well, we're not going to talk about that. That's no good. No negative thoughts, pure thoughts. No negative thoughts, no second level thoughts, no trivial thoughts, no ugly thoughts. Pure thoughts. No negative thoughts, no second level thoughts, no trivial thoughts, no ugly thoughts. Everything we're saying could be said twice. It's very valuable stuff. And then occipital. Do you know what that means? It means hawk-like. Hawk. I had a teacher named Mrs. Hawks. Were her mother and father Hawks? Mrs. Hawks. She taught Latin, second year Latin. And she was very disappointed in me one day when I didn't bother to do my homework the night before, because I'd never done that before. And I said, I'll try it out and see what it's like. Well, it was very ugly. Occipital. And then comes acclaim. To shout. To call out loudly. To acclaim with joy. I acclaim with joy that I told you I'm going to leave you, and we can all prepare for it. Well, not really. You really can't prepare for it, but you can prepare for some of it. Where am I going? Where did .com go? But you want to know something. .com spirit left its body on April 27th. Now that's the 4th month of the year. This is the 11th month of the year. So that's 7 months ago. And you miss their love so. You know, animals give you so much love. And when it goes, you miss it. Well, I keep my diary. You know, back when I could see to write and read, and I can't do that anymore. I can't see the computer, I can't see. I can see by using the electronic magnifier. If I use letters this big, I can see up on the screen, but that's all. Without that, I can't see any letters or write or read or... and so I had to give up giving my Jolly Joy journal, my diary, in handwriting, because I couldn't read it and I couldn't write it. So then I went to microcassettes, which are very good. And they added the thing of audio, which is much better than writing, because audio has the voice inflection and sound. But the thing about microcassettes is one tape is 30 minutes on a side. Think how many microcassettes that's going to take to keep a diary. So then I went to SD cards. An SD card, 128 gig, will hold 94 hours of Jolly Joy journal. 94 hours. What's that, a couple of weeks? And the SD chip, no, it's not a chip, a card. It's as big as a postage stamp. And it costs, when they came out, they cost about $60. Now they're down to about $23. How do the poor manufacturers keep up with this competition? How can they make anything and keep the money going, keep the factory going? So I was listening to... Oh, let me just finish this story before I resume the other one. And then I asked Gregory to go to Walmart and ask him what they have for new audio recorders. Well, Olympus, Grand Olympus, beautiful products, came out with, I don't know what you call it. It's an Olympus audio recorder. It's about the size of a well, I don't like to say cigarette lighter because I don't want you to have anything to do with cigarettes. Anyway, it's this long, it's this wide, and it's this thick. Guess how many hours of audio that will record? 1,500! And it has the added advantage of its one unit. With the SD card, you had two units. You had an SD card and a camcorder. With a microwave, with the microcassette, you had the microcassette and the microcassette player. With the paper journal, you had the book and a pen. But with the Olympus, it's one unit contained, self-contained. Okay, so now we'll go back to the other story. So I was listening, I try to listen to it every day, and I was listening to June 2018, and apparently I was at this desk, and apparently .com was at this desk, and I was saying to her, oh, you poor little kitty, you haven't been fed for 2 or 3 hours, and I went and I got her a bowl of her food with her yeast on it, her very expensive food. She costs about $127 a month to feed, because she was strictly vegan, and she had yeast, which you have to buy at an expensive health food store. Nutritional yeast. And I got her a dish, and I continued to work at the disc, continued recording, and she was eating, and I heard her eating, and it brought hers all back to me. I felt she was here, or I made believe she was here, and it was so real. And now I haven't been so lonesome for .com ever since. .com cat, this is. Because I don't know what it is, okay? Anyway, I haven't been so poignantly lonesome for her. And that's one of my blessings. I count the happy life that .com had for 15 years. She was given the most expensive of everything. And she was protected from the elements and from all other animals. She didn't go out. She didn't hurt anybody, and nobody hurt her. And she was happy all the time, and she purred. So where were we? We were doing the Bible. We did the words. No, there's one more word. Acclivity. You know what an acclivity is? It's an upward slope. Do you know what a declivity is? It's a downward slope. Now after the Bible, hymn, and words, that's a meditation. Every morning comes the jokes. Two things. This conscience, the sanctuary, told me, you do two things, and you do them, whether it's hard or not. You tell jokes, and you sing hymns. But that's hard. It's hard to learn hymns. And it's hard to be in somebody's company and all of a sudden sing a hymn. Well, it isn't. You do it. And it's hard to make sure in every conversation you make it a joke. You make a joke. You tell a joke. Don't you leave anybody without telling them a joke, you know, on exceptional circumstances. So, part of the meditation is what we have, the hymn of the day to sing to people. Now we have to have a joke of the day. So let's do that. Want to? It's a good thing you have 500 channels to watch, and you're not stuck with this one. Thank you for this electronic magnifier. This one is called an optolect. This little alarm goes off every night at 7 o'clock. So so that I will go through the spin of the earth. 24 hours, night and day, sets our schedule. The tilt of the earth that gives us our seasons. The earth's trip around the sun that gives us our years. The electromagnetic spectrum, electromagnetism, the infrared, the radio waves, the microwaves, the color red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, and all those fascinating wavelengths. Just a change in a little numeral of the wavelength will give you a different color. One of the professors I was watching said that in the English language there's 3,000 words for color. Must be the tie that binds. These jokes will be on television in June 2020, year 2020. This first joke is 196 joke vegan commercials to help the animals. They are on the 6:30 p.m. news, Albany, New York, Channel 6, WRGB, CBS. You can Google that on your computer anywhere all over the world at 6:30 p.m. Google that and you will see these jokes. As I say, they're always between 6:30 and 7 p.m. on the 6 p.m. news. You can't think of much worse than the television news or the news on any of the media. Can't think of anything much worse than that. But in the midst of all that horror, and all that ugliness, and all that ego, and all that selfishness, and all that destruction, what do you hear? You hear people laughing, and you hear people happy, and being real human beings. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's make it 30 seconds exactly. Stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2. The superintendent of schools told the school board, our student body suffers from 7 dwarf syndrome. Every 7th kid is dopey. Old high school principals never die. They just lose their faculties. Folks, what are your blessings? The universe, born, alive, healthy. Take good care of those blessings. Go vegan. I think we made it. It has to be in 29 seconds. It's a 30-second commercial, but you can only go to 29 seconds. I think we made it. How can I be sure? Because I can't take my eyes off the camera and look at the clock, because that's not fair to the people at home. Let's do it on the clock, watching the clock. 4, 3, 2. The school superintendent told the school board, our student body suffers from 7 dwarf syndrome. Every 7th kid is dopey. High school principals never die. They just lose their faculties. What are your blessings? the universe, born, alive, and healthy. Take good care of those blessings. Go vegan. I think we did. That one came out to 27 or 28. Okay. Let's do the second one for that week. This would be for the Tuesday one. 198. Let me do it first looking at the clock, okay? See, I have to really have a friend like you here with the stopwatch to tell me how it timed out. It's too much for one person to do all this. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I forgot the commercial. You have to forget the last one and remember the new one. Hold it, we'll have to wait another 10 seconds. Wait, I gotta remember it. Five, 4, 3, 2. No, sorry. Count blessings in this last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Being an American is nice. The last 4 letters are I can. The doctor said you had a close call there. It was only your strong constitution that pulled you through. Hey doc, will you remember that when you make out the bill? Son, with your school attendance record, you will never make President of the United States. But you may make Congress. Go vegan, everybody. I know that one came out to 29. Okay, here's 190 what? 3. Actually, I did that wrong. That was 193. Here's 192. Okay. I'll look at you on this one. Stand by for 10 seconds. Think of the spin of the earth. Harry said, I don't want to go to school today. The kids don't like me. The teachers don't like me. Even the custodians. Stop. 5, 4, 3, 2. Harry said, I don't want to go to school today. The teachers don't like me, the kids don't like me, and even the custodians have it in for me. His mother said, you are going to school today. You have much to learn, you have much to offer, and besides, you're 45 years old and the principal. Folks, what are your blessings? The universe, born, alive, and healthy. Take good care of those blessings. Go vegan. It's okay, folks. I counted 5 seconds after we stopped talking, and it came out to 35, and so that means we were inside of there at 29. Now, you may want to fast forward. I'm going on to 194, and I don't know it very well. Except that I've been telling these jokes for 40 years. No, 1988. No, I would say during the 80s. No. No, at least 75. So you are right. It's 25 and 20. It's 45 years. Do you know that the Glendora Enterprise has been on television for over half a century? 70 years? Started in 1953? This is 199, not 194. 199. Okay. This education. I'll have to read this one to you folks. Never mind timing it until we learn it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Education is drumming abstract ideas into concrete heads. How do you tell a good executive? By the worried look on his assistant's face. How does Harry get his exercise? By jumping to conclusions, stretching the truth, and running up bills. I never read that on TV. Never read it on TV. I always memorized it. Why don't we try reading it on TV? See if you like it. It's 10 seconds. Stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2. Education is drumming abstract ideas into concrete heads. How does Harry get his exercise? Jumping to conclusions, stretching the truth, and running up bills. How can you tell a good executive? By the worried look on his face. Folks, go vegan. Guard your health. Guard your life. We made it. Let's do it that way. In fact, we'll use that one. We'll take it off of the SD card on that camera and we'll put it on a DVD along with the 4 others. We'll ask Madeline Chapin to upload them to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And then we'll ask Madeline Chapin to email them to Channel 6, CBS, WRGB, and then ask Channel 6 to clear them. They have to approve them for broadcast standards. This you don't have in public access TV. In broadcast TV, that's still an old-fashioned thing, and they have to clear them, but they're always cleared. And then they sit in the Glendora folder until June 2020 year. Hey, that's good. That's good. Let's try reading them. It's a lot less work. All right, we're going to do number 200. I'd love to get 4 in, but that's impossible. Could you get 4 in and then say go vegan? We'll give it a try. 4 what? 4 jokes. Okay. Stand by. Stand by in the studio. Count 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. A celebrity is somebody who works all of his life to be famous, and then he wears dark glasses so nobody will recognize him. The doctor said to John, you should give up golf. And John says, because of my health? The doctor says, no, I saw your scorecard. Knock, knock. Who's there? Morris. Morris who? Morris Monday, next day Tuesday. Knock, knock. Who's there? Fortification. Fortification who? Fortification this year we go to the mountains. You know, we almost did. We left out the go vegan, but we almost did. Want to try it again? Okay, stand by till we cue it up to 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. A celebrity is somebody who works all of his life to be famous, and then he wears dark glasses so nobody will recognize him. The doctor says, Harry, you got to give up golf. Because of my health? No, I saw your scorecard. Knock, knock, who's there? Morris. Morris who? Morris Saturday, next day Sunday. Knock, knock, who's there? Fortification. Fortification, this year we go to the mountains. Go vegan, everybody. Watch your health. Be smart. We did make it. We did make it. It's over with. We don't have to rehearse them anymore. Now, I have to tell you something that's inexplicable. I have to tell you again. I've told it to you once, and I can't seem to say it right. That our friend Gregory Charles Washburn, at 57 years old, died. Dropped dead. He got Lyme disease, and he went to urgent care and got his great big antibiotics, and he took them. I'm 150 miles away from him. No, you aren't, Glendora. That's a round trip. You're half that. And apparently he didn't feel better. Apparently the Lyme disease was going, but it ticked off something else that he had that we didn't know he had, and exacerbated that, and he was very, very sick. And his brother in North Carolina, who just moved down there 3-4 months ago, persuaded him to go to the doctor. So Gregory found somebody to drive him to the doctor, and he's going out into the yard to meet this friend to take him to the doctor, and before the friend gets there, he falls dead on the driveway. 57 years old. And you saw how healthy and hale he was. You know, he's been on YouTube, and he's been with you for 3 or 4 or 5 years. Actually, he and I met in 2006, and you've seen him on TV since 2006. He was the most versatile of all of my helpers. There wasn't a thing I ever asked him to do for this vast TV enterprise, the Chat with Glendora. There wasn't a thing I asked him to do that he never failed. He could always do it. Even though he'd never seen anything like it before, he would figure out how to do it, and do it well. What do you do? What do you do, folks? I'll never see him again. You'll never see him again. Except, of course, on video. I'm glad we have that. Oh, thank you, video. Thank you, this whole technological revolution. Or evolution. Thank you. We have it, and in such small pieces as that Olympus audio recorder I told you about. In such small pieces as this, right? So versatile. and I don't know what the percentage is, but I have a very small percentage operation ability on this. 92% I'm wasting. Or more. I guess. You take what God gives you, and you say thank you. You say thank you, universe, for Gregory. Those years from 2006. Anno Domini. Anno Domini. Thank you, God. Thank you for all of the good He did the world by taking care of all aspects, well, most all aspects of the Chat with Glendora TV enterprise, which is so huge. I've been trying to operate it without a Gregory ever since June 13th, and this is like November, so that's 6 to 11 months, 5 months. Have you mastered it? Yes. Without a Gregory. And with all my church friends coming over and helping me and reading to me 2 hours at a time, once a week. And I must say that of all the churches I went to, I went to the Seventh-day Church on Saturday, and on Sunday at 10 o'clock I would go to the St. Mary's Roman Catholic Mass, and then the Reformed Church, which is really a Presbyterian church, their parking lots were contiguous, and I'd go across the parking lots and go to the Reformed Church at 11. By 12 o'clock, the Methodist Church across the street was just having their coffee hour, so I would make that and commune with those people for a while until they were through, and then I'd go down to the Bible Church, the New Hope for Life Church, and their coffee hour goes on until 3 o'clock, so I'd get down there at 2, and there was always somebody there who was going by my house who would take me home. And in addition to that, folks, I would go to their Bible studies and their prayer groups and their picnics. So it was wonderful. It was great. And I did this for 4 or 5 years until the ambulatory stage of life changed. You know what I mean? It was difficult to walk. Well, you shouldn't say that, Glendora. Anyway, it didn't work out. And so when the time came when I couldn't read and write anymore, and I'll tell you about the knee later on, that's a different story and very interesting. When that time came, I called on all my church friends. Could you come and read to me for a couple hours every week? Well, I want you to know they did. And I want you to know which church was best at it. I'm going to wait a minute. Which one was best at it? The Seventh-day Adventists, the Roman Catholics, the Reformed Church, the Presbyterian, the Methodists, or the Bible Church? Who did it the most? Who was the most effective at coming and reading to me, helping me for 2 hours a week? The Roman Catholics. Not a second thought about it. Well, I can't come right now. Can you wait a couple of hours? Aren't they terrific? Good for you. Bless your hearts. It's in you. Helping others. That's the whole answer to all life. To all universe. The cooperation, the ecology, the working together. The oneness. No self. Now, why did I tell you that? Oh, because I was telling you about Gregory doing this vast Chat with Glendora enterprise without Gregory. Have you got all the things done? No, there's just one more, and that's you, Karen Beasley. Public access TV in Washington, D.C. Please, Karen, will you please take my programs by DVD? Please don't make me go through that computer and that form and getting a program number through the computer and then sending the program through the computer and getting a program number and then hearing from you through the computer whether you accept it or not. And you accept very few of them. You really are persnickety. You reject programs, and actually illegal. Many times that you reject a program, it's for editorial control, and that's forbidden. You people are not allowed to exercise editorial control over public access TV. And you've done that several times. I sued you twice or once for it. I'm not going to sue you again. I just say, take the program and play it on my other 73 TV stations. They don't care. And they know enough not to exercise editorial control. And just give you another one. Try again. But please just take it on DVD. I can handle DVD. If I squint closely enough and put my eye closely enough up to the gauge, the counter, I can get it done. Please, Karen Beasley, Washington, D.C., Public Access TV, DC TV. It's important that our program of good nature and goodwill be seen in the nation's capital where they fight with each other all the time. Ugly. All right. So Gregory was cremated. Oh, did I tell you what day this happened, that he fell dead? Election day. In New York State, Election Day, November 5th. His brother got him to go to the doctors at 2 p.m. At 3:15 he was dead. And again, he died before his friend came to take him to the doctors. His friend arrives and he's dead. There's some mumbling about a pulmonary embolism. And let me ask you this. Does Lyme disease, supposing you have a condition before you have Lyme disease, you have a health condition, a health issue, and Lyme disease comes along and it exacerbates that issue? Do you suppose that's what happened? You suppose he did have blood clots? And Lyme disease exacerbated it? And that tolled the knell? No, tolled the bell? Send not for whom the bell tolls, friend. It tolls for thee. John Donne, D-O-N-N-E, a British poet. Toll not, send not for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. You remember how we said over and over again what Mary Baker Eddy says? A blessing for one is a blessing for all. A difficulty for one is a difficulty for all. I have quite a few people like you who call me up and tell me everything that's on their minds. And I listen and I listen and I listen and I listen. And I try to find a solution, and I sing a hymn, and I tell a joke. I read a Bible passage. Give them a word, a vocabulary word to ponder. So Gregory was cremated, and he was buried in the cemetery lot with his mom and dad in the church lot. And the church is a Presbyterian church. And it's in Freedom Plains, New York. Isn't that a lovely name for a locality? Freedom Plains. It's juxtaposed to Poughkeepsie. You know Poughkeepsie, don't you? Smith Brothers cough drops came from Poughkeepsie. If you can't find licorice, Glendora, you could always eat Smith Brothers cough drops. They're good in licorice. Oh, I found vanilla fudge. Nobody else had it. Not Hannaford's, not Price Chopper, not Honest Weight. Nobody had vanilla fudge. Guess who has it? Walmart. $18 a pound. But I won't buy it. I won't eat it. It's not vegan. It has cream in it. Unless they have vegan vanilla fudge. The Albany Vegan Network is going to have a vegan pancake breakfast at 10 o'clock on the 23rd of November as a fundraiser. And it's $15. Easily I'll pay that. I'll pay $30. Will you go? It depends upon the ambulatory ability. But if I don't go, I'll send Scott Everly with $15 to pay for mine, have mine taken out, and give Scott a camera and have him cover it for you. Show you what it's like to be there. So what about Gregory? He'll never sit down with us again and do the Glendora Vegetarian Club. And he read so well, and he was so good on TV. And he took care of the Lincoln so well. The 1993 Lincoln, which is only about 140,000 miles, Lincoln town car, and the 1980 Lincoln town car Continental Mark 6. He took care of them so well. Started them up every 4 weeks. Drove the 1993 around this very, very large yard that has the Valatia Kill. It has the trolley line, the old trolley line that was stopped in 1929. It has black raspberries growing on it. It has a clear sky corridor. Here's forest and here's buildings, but here's the sky corridor. Clear and beautiful for miles behind you and ahead of you. It has the garage with the 2 Lincolns in it. To get 2 Lincolns into a one-door garage is really an art. In fact, it cost me $400 for a man to do it, but he was worth it. I think he had a trolley. He had to do it with a trolley. Speaking of a trolley trail. Gregory was so good at everything. He was good at making the vegan commercials to help the animals. He was good at making a chat with Glendora. He was good at making dubs. He was good at making the character generator, the letters that go at the bottom of the screen. He was good at holding me up, you know, making sure I didn't fall down. But the best answer to that is the grocery cart. And everybody tries to take the grocery cart away from me and give me a walker. No, I want a grocery cart. The best thing they can do is take the front corner and lead it, because I can't see where I'm going. Lead it. And that steadies it. And I have the back, and we go a long distance that way, and the knee doesn't hurt. The knee hurts only when you bend it, and that's when you get up and sit up and down. Gregory, I've got acclimated to .coms leaving us. How will I get acclimated to your leaving us? Anything else? Well, whether there is or not, this is enough. I will be leaving you. When? Do you know? I don't know. Will I believe in you? Still having our chats together? Where you and I made a vow 10 or 15 years ago that we would help each other? We would help each other be selfless, right? And how to treat each other? Didn't? No? I don't know. Never mind. Let's go. Let's go on with the day. Get on with our day. Let's go. What would be a good benediction? Breathe on us, breath of God, and we will be alert to live with Thee, the perfect life, and to live with Thee, God, the perfect life, and neither harm nor hurt. Breathe on us, breath of God, till we are wholly Thine, until this earthly part of us glows with Thy Spirit divine. Breathe on us, breath of God, until our hearts are pure. Is your heart pure, folks? Please, together, let's have pure hearts. No selfishness. Until our will is one with Thine, to do and to endure. Breathe on us, breath of God, fill us with life anew, that we may love as Thou dost love, and do as Thou dost do. That you be blameless and holeless. That you be blameless and harmless. That together we are children of God, without blemish. That together we stop this wicked and perverse cruelty to animals, and that together we shine our light on the world.